Coach, maybe not the way you would have scripted it, but you did come away with the win.
Yeah, you said we had to work in overtime, and I thought it was like free basketball. We get to play more, right? No, not how we drew it up. I mean, they played really, really well. They made some shots that they haven't made, and we adjusted. Here's the bottom line. This is what I told the group after. You figure out a way to win. You're not always going to play your best basketball every single night. I thought Adrian Anderson did a phenomenal job in the second half, stepping up. We needed some buckets and some scores, and obviously Mallory McCartney. From a scoring perspective. And really, after our defensive performance on Thursday, this was probably, the opposite of that defensively. But when it mattered, that play, that stop in regulation, we had a foul to give. And, we told our players, be really aggressive on handoffs and ball screens. Because if we foul, they're just taking it out again. And it was under a 30 shot clock. So what a smart play by Mallory McCartney to jump that handoff and just plow through it. Because if they don't call it, we tip the ball. And if they do call it, they're just taking it out and they got to set up their play all over again. And we already know what it looks like. So really, really some really great plays. And then, some plays that we can learn from.
It's always a little something to learn from here, having a little bit of deja vu. Coach Bronkema and I had the same conversation at the end of his game here today. But you mentioned Adrian Anderson, and she really stepped up, and she really was kind of in attack mode, and then defensively at times she had to pick it up as well. They had a couple players that really got going, and so, the defense maybe wasn't exactly where you wanted it, but you did get some key stops at key times.
Well, that's the point, right? Key stops at key times, and, when it mattered. I mean, we couldn't finish these games early in the year, right? And we're finishing them now, close games. And, lots to learn from. We missed free throws down the stretch. We didn't do a great job executing a couple plays, but we did a great job executing, defensively. And that's where it came up huge for us at the end. We got stops on the defensive end, and then we got 3 quick scores in transition.
You mentioned the turnovers, and that was obviously really tough because they ended up with 26 points off of your turnovers, and so that's a big part of them staying in the game.
No doubt, no doubt. I thought we turned it over too much in the first half, and then, I hate to look at the second half.
But you do find a way to get it done. You guys made a big basket down the stretch in regulation. And just talk a little bit about what you were trying to do at the end of regulation, besides get it to overtime.
Yeah, I have no idea. I think, was that Riley's bucket?
That was Riley.
Yeah. Well, I think we want to get the ball to Riley and give her some space to clear out. So, at the end of the game, we want her at the free throw line. We want Mallory McCartney at the free throw line too. She didn't particularly have a great free throw stretch today, but I mean, she's a phenomenal free throw shooter, and she made a really big one that actually, counted and mattered. Yeah, I mean, in regulation, we're trying to get our leading scorer of the basketball with some space for her to create. It doesn't matter it wouldn't matter if she hadn't scored all game. We would still go to her.
And then what about your start to overtime? You guys were kind of just everything that wasn't really working before suddenly just clicked for you at the beginning of overtime.
It started on the defensive end. I mean, we got 3 stops and 3 transition scores. Really, really similar to our Michigan Tech game last weekend, where we set the tone in overtime, and that was huge.
And now the treat for this is you get to go on the road to Ashland and Wayne State. So it doesn't get any easier for the Bulldogs.
Sure.
And, probably gets a lot tougher going to Ashland than Wayne State. What about those two?
Yeah, I mean, both really, obviously, they both beat us the last time we played. So we played really good against Ashland and didn't finish down the stretch. And we, didn't play our best basketball the following Saturday against Wayne State. And so we have a lot of work to do.
Well, thanks a lot, Coach Faustin. Congratulations on the overtime win.